You think about what's on the end of your fork. You think about how that meat got on your plate. You think about how living animals have been bred for centuries and kept in slavery and fear and filth and pumped full of hormones. You think about how someone took a living being with eyes and a brain and feelings and killed her and ripped her skin off and chopped her up and chilled the parts of her body and transported them and labelled the parts of her body and called them beef. And you paid money for her corpse and took it home and put it in your fridge, then took it out and cooked it and put it in your mouth and ate it. You think about what meat really is, that is part of someone's body. It's body fat and muscles and veins and tendons. You think about it. Good appetite. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a messed up fuck up with a lifetime of psychosis, with a lifetime of insecurity and fear and anger and hate, with a lifetime of failed relationships, with a lifetime of sexual confusion. I don't want to do this. I don't want all my music to be about rage and injustice. I don't want to do this. I don't want to spend half of every day reading the papers about what they've done to us again, about the next invasion of common decency. I don't want them to do this. I don't want the war and the rape, the poverty and the starvation, the exploitation of people and the exploitation of resources, the poisoning of the earth and the poisoning of the sea. I don't want them to do this, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to be complicit in this. I don't want to be in a system that makes everything I do exploitation. I don't want to live with the knowledge that the greatest, the greenest and most ethical thing you can do is kill yourself, because I won't. I won't kill myself because they won't live properly. This is what I want to do. I want to live freely. I want to live easily. I want to sit in my hut and read and watch the rain and watch the moon wane and the paleness of dawn return and make love with people I love and sing my songs and grow food and have sisters and brothers and help raise the children and laugh in the sunshine and grow old gracefully with the people I love. But I can't. I can't. But I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to live in this concrete nightmare world with piss and vomit and rubbish and shouting on the streets with muscled steroid bastards and idiot girls in little strappy dresses and giggling gangs in high heels getting pissed on sambuca shots for £1 and fucking and fighting. I don't want to live with the mean, bitter, pinched faces of the people who read the Mail and the Telegraph and the ignorance and fists of the tits on page 3 and the bingo and celebrities and the stupid, hateful, screaming headlines of the Sun and the Express. I don't want to live in a culture that values individualistic, recidivist, hedonistic pleasure and greed above all else and drags down everything that is true and meaningful to the gutter awful level of money. I don't want to live with the fucked up ex-servicemen, with all the people I love fucked up, with the politicians and the managers and the royalty and the aristocrats and inherited wealth, with bosses and bankers and bureaucrats and businessmen, with the Tories. I don't want to do this. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to do this, but I have to. I'd like to say something about the NHS. As some of you may know, I spent a few days in hospital recently, and it was quite pleasurable, actually. I walked in off the street, basically, and they looked after me. I walked in, and they assessed me. I waited for a couple of hours. They assessed me, they scanned me, they treated me, they looked after me. They gave me a bed, they fed me, they gave me cups of coffee, the nurses called me love and darling. The doctors didn't, but I'm working on them. And it was all right. And the best thing about it was that money wasn't mentioned. I didn't have to put my hand in my pocket, I didn't have to pull out my debit card. It wasn't an issue. I was free at the point of service. I was just looked after. And I think that's a very, very valuable thing. And I think that's something we've got to defend. Something we've got to look after. Free at the point of service. We've all got the right for free healthcare. And the Tories are trying to destroy that with their health reform bill, which has passed through government, through the House of Commons, due to the Tories being cunts and the Lib Dems being spineless turds. But it is going back to the House of Lords, and there are things we can do to try and stop this bill being made law. And they are trying to privatise the NHS. There's no joke about that. I mean, Lansley's wife is in bed with Lansley, and with a management company that's supporting privatisation, and the government is talking to Helios, which is a German multinational, to sell off 20 hospitals to that company with 500 million on the table as profit to incite them. And I've never seen a single piece of evidence to support the fact that privatisation, competition, actually increases benefit service. Has anybody?
No. I've worked for the NHS for 5 years. Bullshit.
Does privatisation... I mean, it's just a Tory mantra. Public bad, private good. Public bad, private good. The only reason they want to do this is so they can profit themselves. They just want to rinse more money out of us. And they want to do this because the Tories have got an ideological commitment to destroying the welfare state. Because it really gaps up their pampered, overprivileged arses that they've got to stand in line with the rest of us. And they really just don't want to do that. They want to fucking go to the top of the queue, go to the top of the queue, go to the top of the queue. Because they can pay for it. And as far as I'm concerned, it's bullshit. And in the words of Miss Hirsch, we've got something that your fucking money cannot buy. Thank you.